Hello everyone, I'm Heather. I'll be your tour guide today on our way to Hay Festival in Hay-on-Wye in Wales. I feel like if you've come to me, okay, you're already a pretty bookish person. Well done. But just in case you've been living under a rock and you need like a little bit of information about Hay-on-Wye, I'll catch you up, okay? Hay-on-Wye in Wales is the OG town of books. Okay, I think loads of towns throughout the world, they've got this idea now, they're going to be towns of books, okay? But they're just playing at being towns of books because they can never be the OG, which is Hay-on-Wye, the first town of books. It's this tiny village in Wales, middle of nowhere. Every shop is books. It's just a million bookstores and like a pub and like one tiny convenience store and like an Indian restaurant. Like that's the whole town. And they have this literature festival that they host every year in summer, like end of May, beginning of June, for 2 weeks. And they pop it up in the middle of a field, just like all these like connected tents and little walkways and stuff like that, and the ramps, and it just sort of springs up overnight and it goes for 2 weeks, and it has your massive names. Okay, so like one thing they offer, obviously, because it's a world-renowned festival, you got your massive names, all these like mega authors who are like putting Hay Festival on their book tour. They're vlogging a book, vlogging a new book, vlogging a new idea, whatever. They're always going to put Hay Fest on their list of things that they need to do that year because it's a go-to event, okay? But also you got loads of little side things, little local authors, like crafting, like little like information sessions and events, like they hold like nature walks into the like hills and stuff, and into like there's like the River Wye, they walk by there, they do like tree talks, like this is this kind of tree and like this kind of bird, you know. They do history tours, like you can like tour the castle, like they do events at night that are like music events where they invite sort of like bands and singers and stuff like that. It's brilliant. It's basically just a culture festival, like a festival of the arts, and it's brilliant. Best vibes, okay? And like the best bit about it is like everyone that's going there, if you're staying there, like you don't have to stay there, okay? It's like 2 hours, hour and a half or so drive from Cardiff. Like you could go up and down, like if you're just going for the day, probably just go up from Cardiff and come back down. But then you can't really do multiple days, you can't do stuff in the night time, do you know what I mean? Like you've got to stay there to make it happen. But finding accommodation with a roof and a bed in this tiny town where there's not really enough houses for the people that live there, do you know what I mean? It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work out, bro. So you gotta camp in a field. Festival vibes, bro. Like you can set up your own tent in these like campground things, all these campground things and fields around, or you can like rent one of their tents, like tents that they've already set up. And like the past couple of years, like my family and I have been doing that because it's Wales, and setting up a tent in the rain, not a vibe. We're not about it. It's not what we want to do with our lives. But we stay in this thing called like Tangerine Fields, which is like the original, or like the official Hay Festival campground. And they've always got this like massive tent in the back where they do like a fry up in the morning for breakfast, you know, like they do like little veggie burrito things. They also have like hair straighteners and hair dryers and like a tent next to it, or like they always have like a book tent with free books and like books you can leave behind or books you can take or whatever. You can just go in there and read. They also have like shower blocks and like toilet blocks that are like nice and stuff like that. Like, you know, we're not, you know, we glamp at the Hay Festival. This isn't like roughing it hardcore, you know. But it's brilliant and the vibes are so good. Like everyone there is like bookish. Do you know what I mean? Like they love the same kind of crap you love, and it's just like the best sort of hippie bullshit. I can't even tell you. It's just brilliant. All set up, beautiful, got all our stuff in.
Yeah, well, we didn't do the tent or anything. It's glamping.
Oh yeah, glamping. They set up the bell tent, and then we just added finishing touches. We have our first events are tomorrow, and they're kids events, so it's like kids day tomorrow, and then the next day is like big people stuff. But okay, we're gonna see Jeff Kinney. Yeah, there's a Diary of the Wimpy Kid guy. And then Alice Roberts, who I think mainly does big people stuff. She does like archaeology and stuff, or like science, anthropology she does. But she's done like a kid's book or something, so she's doing like a kid event, which should be cute. And there's also this like couple, the two people that do like the toilet that ate the earth or something like that. Oh, we'll see them too. I think they'll be funny. They'll be fun. But the first one's at 11:30.
That's really, really, really early.
Which, like, for us, to be fair, is like a bit early, to be honest. Okay, this bit here, I put this in for y'all friends who, like, when somebody says, oh, we went for some Indian food, you go, oh yeah, what you have then? You know, like when you really need to know what we at, you know, when you need to think about it, you need to sort of taste it on yourself. I mean, this is what we had at the Indian place at Hay-on-Wye. Like, it's delightful, we love it there. What are you doing?
Oh shit, it's 5 to 9.
Oh shit.
This is so light.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
late, isn't it? It's pretty much
it?
bedtime anyway for her, no?
Like, we could go bed now, I guess.
No!
I feel really full.
No!
I feel like about...
Mommy, we definitely have a filter. Look at my lips.
Do we? Is it? I don't understand how it's on there. I don't think we do have a filter.
We have a filter. Look at me. Look at my lips. Lips aren't like this color. I didn't even put lipstick on.
But it's just like a normal camera. I just put it on camera. We only brought one book with us. Thinking, or I think my thinking was that we're gonna get books while we're here, innit?
Yeah,
Like,
well, I'm not spending my £20.
okay, well,
Oh my god, I forgot to bring my £10.
Okay, but so while we're at Hay tomorrow, while we're at Hay,
Ooh, that smells good.
we should get like a scary stories book that we can read in the tent. Yeah. Okay. And maybe like another one we can read together. I only brought one. I brought Mexi Kid. Should we read Mexi Kid like before bed?
Yeah, well, bed's like ages away.
No, it's like late now.
No, it isn't.
It's just because we're sleeping in the tent. It just seems really light out.
It's really
like normally
light
we'd be in
out.
our like Victorian house where it like blocks out the sun, so it's like nice and dark. It's
So
just,
would I
it's
go to
just play
sleep
with
by
your
now
mind.
if I was in
It's
bed?
just like a mind mess with.
What do you mean a man bed?
Just messes with your mind. Okay, should I get Mexi Kid? Hold on. Mexi Kid by Pedro Martin. Okay.
No, his actual...
I think we got this in America actually, and it looks really cute. It's like it's like a graphic novel, right? But it's like a graphic memoir actually, because it's the actual real story of this kid.
What is it about?
So it's this kid. He's born in America, but his parents are from Mexico. And they've got a drive in their Winnebago. So like
and
in
they
their,
call him a Mexicano.
they're in like their camper van. Yeah. They've got to drive down to Mexico to get their grandpa, and then drive him home. And it's supposed to be like really funny, because he doesn't like really want to go to Mexico to meet his grandpa. But he's got to like go in this like tiny camper van with his family. I've heard it's like really good, so I think we should read it. What do you think? And then tomorrow at Hayfest we'll get like loads of other ones, like scary story ones, maybe like another kid one, and just like look in the Hayfest shop and see if there's anything really good. Thoughts? Hello, thoughts.
And my thoughts are...
Thoughts.
Thoughts are...
Thoughts.
That's
Oh, did you fart?
No.
Oh, who farted? Farting in the tent isn't allowed. If you need to fart, you have to go outside the tent. It's like farting in the car. Day 9 of waiting for Daddy at the toilet. He's on his 3rd poop this morning.
Yeah.
To be fair, we had Indian food yesterday, but
And-
3 poops is a bit unacceptable, honestly.
And everyone is so nice. I got 1 lollipop, 1 chocolate, 1 Biscoff cheesecake, and I just got a hot chocolate with marshmallows.
The Spud is obsessed with the country where people are kind and give out things for free. As a city child, she does not experience that often. Like, I reckon you look awesome in these.
Wait, Molly.
Okay, this bookshop, this one, is my favourite of all of them in Hay-on-Wye. It's Richard Booth's. I think it's a lot of people's favourites. It's the biggest. And the curation in here, brilliant. Oh my god, like the guy who's deciding what books to have in there, love him, beautiful. But the vibe is the best bit about it. Like, it's got wood and everything, like massive windows in the sun with like chairs that you can read in. Oh, it's just like an old school library. It's like, it smells like an old school library. It's just... Okay, this bit is us walking our butts down to the actual festival. Like, it's I think less than a mile or so, just under a mile between Hay-on-Wye, the town, and the festival site where they put up the tents. So you kind of like get a bus down there, they like do a shuttle, or you can just walk there. And there's like loads of things on the side, like people that live in those houses on the way, they like sell things outside, you know, or like do like fun activities. So it's like fun to walk down. Okay, this cracks me up about Hate Festival, and I love it. I love it so much. Like any other place you see a load of kids together, you know, they're just gonna be running around like crazy, like shouting, climbing on things. But like a Hate Festival, like even the littlest kids, like you find them standing in line in like a really lovely fashion, just reading their books politely, like in a corner, like with a book stack, you know, like nowhere else do you look out at like a crowd of children and they're all like immersed in their own books. Okay, this is the main Hay bookshop tent at the festival, and this is where like everyone goes after the authors are done talking to like get them to sign their books and stuff. But they also sell all the books of all of the authors that come to the event, so you can go there and you can like get new books. This place got us stuck several times, like we ended up getting loads of books here, but I sort of just snapped in the end instead of just taking photos of books that I wanted to get from the library. Like ain't nobody got that kind of money, you know? Okay, what's happened here is Daddy's carrying the princess back to the tent because she tripped over on the sidewalk and scraped the side of her ankle, and there was a bit of blood there. So now obviously her legs don't work. This is me carrying the chips that Daddy specifically bought to cheer her up because she was so sad about the tiny bit of blood in her ankle. Okay, exhausting day, but I'm proud of our haul. Okay, we did really good, didn't we? Mm-hmm. We got a pretty super haul. Like, we couldn't get loads and loads and loads of books. But I did just sort of snap at one point and then just start like compulsively taking pictures of things that I need to keep on a list somewhere for the library. Okay, but these are things we got. First thing, okay. Write and draw your own comics.
Nice.
What, bro? Like, it just basically asks you like, oh, develop your character, develop your background, blah blah blah, and then it like gives you like tools to like make your own comic.
Also, in one of them, it has I think this page. Yeah, it has like eyes, emotions, bodies, and then you can all mix these.
Yeah,
here.
to make your character. Like that is happening tomorrow. The stuff tomorrow is like more grown-up stuff, so Spud can do that. Okay, next one. Suey and the Strange White Light. So we read this other one before, Suey and the Shadow, where she had like an angry shadow that like ate people and like stole their souls and turned them into like zombie kids. Like this. Yeah, and her two friends like saved her from being this like shadow eater girl, and this is like the second one. So I don't know what happens in this one, but it's like number 2. It's nice. Okay, next one.
Like instead of finding the shadow, they're finding the light.
Oh, ooh, that would be dark. That'd be deep, babes. Okay, this one, Catstronauts, Mission Moon. This is about cat astronauts, which basically is the ultimate amazing thing. If you're not into cats being astronauts, get on board. Obviously. Okay, next thing. Pizzazz versus the future. Woo! So, this is Pizzazz. She is a superhero. She is freaking awesome.
And this is the last book, so you may not understand.
Yeah, well, I think...
don't mistake this as the first book. This is the last one.
Yeah, I think they're standalone. She introduces herself in the first chapter every time, so I think that you don't have to read them in order. Okay, and then... Two for me. First one being Stephen King, The Body. Okay, so this one, I think, you know that movie from the 80s? What's the name of that movie? With the kids? Stand is like the book that's like it's about. It's inspired the movie. So hopefully that's cute.
Mom, why did you put it on top of the peanut butter?
Why not? It's the perfect height. Okay, and then this one, Bad Dolls by Rachel Harrison. I didn't know that Rachel Harrison did another one, or like
No.
a story collection, but she's freaking awesome. I think I've read all of her other books. She did like Cackle about like a witch. She did like Black Sheep about like a demonic cult. This is another one, another Rachel Harrison one. I think I'll probably read anything she writes. I don't care what it is, but these stories do look cute. Indecisive young woman finds a mysterious magic 8-ball that might just have the answer she's been looking for, might lead her down a path of self-destruction. Bridesmaid attends her childhood best friend's bachelorette party only to discover the itinerary may demand more than she's willing to sacrifice. After the death of her younger sister, a wayward young woman comes into possession of a strange porcelain doll. What? What do you say? A creepy doll? I'm down. I'm excited. That's a solid haul. I think we did good, Monkey. We got, good stuff, but we didn't go crazy. We got loads of stuff and spent loads of money, that we can't fit in our house.
We kind of did. A lot.
I think we did okay. I think we did, this is a reasonable Hay Festival book haul.
Book haul, but not my haul. I mean, Dad never spent this money. That's why he's so rich. He's like, money.
Oh, good. Okay, this is where I snapped again and started taking pictures of books I want. Like, I can only buy so many books. And this was in Bethany Hughes' talk. So Bethany Hughes does like BBC programs on like history sites and sort of like tourism sites and like archaeology sites and stuff like that. And she's written this book, The 7 Ancient Wonders of the World. And I feel like loads of people have written that book, but hers actually seems super interesting because I like her. She's really cool. So I'm gonna actually get that book this summer. Okay, second day of Hay Festival, right? And I know I said some stuff yesterday, namely that I wasn't going to buy any more books at Hay Festival on the second day because I bought so many on the first day, way more than I meant to. But I'm obviously going to fill you in on some developments, okay? When I said that, it was true. I wasn't lying to you. I wasn't lying to myself. That was the state of things. I wasn't going to buy any more books. But some developments, some changes in situation and status has ended up me buying more books today than I did yesterday. I don't regret that. That's not something I regret, okay? That's just how it's happened, and we have to roll with that, okay? What happened mainly, that was the problem, is Oxfam charity shop sale, which resulted in several books, but also some other stuff, and we'll talk you through it. We'll talk you through it now. We're talking it through it?
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, we're waiting for James to poop. We're sitting in the car, and it is hot as balls. We've got a window open. Get the door open. Okay, first of all, first thing that happened was we went to the bookshop to kill a bit of time. Just to look around, not really to do anything. And the Spud found this book from the author and the illustrator that we saw yesterday. So they talked about the book. He was super funny. He did loads of dad jokes. Emma dug it. And she was like, okay, we do have to actually get the book. So we've got the book now. Apparently, he was asked a question. He was like, what is your favorite dad joke? And he was like, it's at the end of the book. It's like the overall ending part of the book. It's what makes the queen laugh in the end. It's like about a queen who's lost her sense of humor and everyone tries to do a joke and it's not working. So we got that one. Okay. Then also that same trip to that bookstore, I saw this. Sarah from Your True Shelf, she's been on about this for ages. Black Butterfly. It's about Sarajevo and Bosnia, and I love Bosnia. I love me some Bosnia. Also, part of Women's Prize. Love Sarah, love Women's Prize. So I've had to get that one, especially because I can't find it at my library. It's been a situation. This is where James came back from pooping. We had to go because it was about to rain and everything. So like minor intermission by here. So wait a sec. we'll get back to it. Okay, sorry. Book haul part like 9,000. Okay, so I said we went to the new book tent. Okay, so they have a bunch of book tents at Hay, understandably. One of the tents is New Books that sells primarily books by the authors that are there at the festival. Okay, so you go and you see the author, and then you go to this New Book tent, and like all of their works are there. So we went there, we got some stuff. Okay, then we left. We're like, 2 books, that's it, that's all we're doing. So then go to the Oxfam tent. Primarily my husband likes this one because they have loads of crap that old dudes like. Okay, like history of ancient Britain, like that was written 40 years ago as like a coffee table book, like, you know, stupid stuff like that. But they also every once in a while have novels that you can, you know, they're good, they're new, they're ones you want, they're for cheap. And I just had an amazingly lucky go at that. My god. So I got these 2, which I've seen recently on BookTube. Lots of people have been on about My Phantoms, Gwendolyn Riley, and Helping Hand, Celia Dale. Like, these ones are both, I think, a bit dark. They've got dark vibes. Dark vibes are what I'm here for, generally. And then I also saw this one, which was The Slow Regard of Silent Things, by Patrick Rothfuss. So this guy, he does like what, like King Killer series or something like that. Like the name of this series is like 2 books, and it's supposed to be more. It's supposed to be like at least 3 books or something. But that next book, it's just been in the pipeline for ever so fucking long. I don't know what's happened. He lost his mojo or some shit. But then instead of giving us the 3rd one of this book, he gave us this like side novel about this other character who I personally feel is the least interesting character. She's like this character that lives underneath the city or underneath the university or whatever. It doesn't really say much or anything, and I've never been interested in her, so I was like, I'm not gonna get this novel because that's dumb. But I've just found it for $3.50 at the Oxfam thing and was tempted by it. I don't know, maybe I'm just like hard up for the next one, like I'm, you know, like I'm like jonesing for it, like I just want it here, you know, like I don't know, it's a weird feeling. So then I was like, okay, we've definitely got all the books we need. Like, my god, we weren't supposed to buy any books today and we've already bought loads. So I'm like, I'm not going to buy any more books. But our last event, so we had 3 events yesterday, 3 events today. Our 3rd event, it was supposed to be Karis Davis and this other guy that I don't really like, Francis Spufford or something. I read his like Golden Hill or whatever. I wasn't impressed. But it's supposed to be the 2 of them. I love Karis Davis. Like, I'm reading her Clear at the minute and it's so good. I love her so much. So I booked that one thinking, oh, if she's in conversation with somebody else, like, it's gonna be really good. But she backed out of the event, and I think, like, I don't know what it is. I can't say for sure because I didn't look on the news, but I imagine it is as part of like a bunch of artists, like not a bunch, but like, you know, a number of them, like Charlotte Church, particularly one, backed out of Hay Festival originally because they have a sponsor, Bailey Gifford, which is like a hedge fund or something like this, like finance management or something like this, and they are like related in some way, like they do business with like fossil fuel companies, like oil companies or whatever, and also they have like dodgy links to Israel and like Israel business and stuff like that. So loads of artists were like, until you bin off your association with this sponsor, we're backing out. And they did actually bin off with that sponsor. They've pulled Bailey Gifford off all their stuff, and like James and I were talking about it, we're really impressed by how quickly they were able to pull all branding and everything Bailey Gifford like inspired or whatever from all the literature and from all of everything at Hay. Like last year when we went, it was just Bailey Gifford everything all over the place. Like there was a Bailey Gifford stage and there was like Bailey Gifford like advertising just everywhere. But like they must have just done it like overnight. Like they made a decision, okay, this isn't popular, people are really hating it, like they're not, you know, for profit or anything. It's not like, oh, it's hurting our profits for us to be associated with them. They just, I think, just like listened to their artists and their crowd, you know, and their people, and they're just like really in tune with just like a safe space and like an artistic space and stuff like this and community. They're like, okay, we're listening to you, we're gonna bin this off, and then they just overnight everything Bailey Gifford gone. But obviously those artists who sort of quite a lot of those artists who'd already backed out. They can't just like re-pop in, do you know what I mean? So I think Karis Davis was one of those, so she wasn't able to do the events I wanted. So we had like an event at 2:30 or whatever, and then we were just like, ugh, like bin it off. It's still got this Francis Bufford guy, but I think he's a bit boring. So we won't do that. We'll get our money back, and we'll just wander about for a bit while the rain stops. And then we ended up in that new bookstore again because James wanted to take pictures of books that he maybe wanted to get from the library. I'm like, that's fine. That is not acquiring more books, you know? That's well within us not buying more books. But then obviously we didn't end up more books, and I'm going to tell you why, okay? First of all, my kids saw this one, Happy Hills by Sophie Yen. Whenever my kid gets super excited about a book and brings it to me and goes, Mommy, look at how cool this is, can I have it? I always say yes, and I know that that's stupid and like spoils her in a bookish way, but also I so intensely want her to love books in the way that I love books, and she won't do because she's sporty and social. She'll never love books as much as I love books, but I just so deeply want her to love books as much as I love books that every time she shows an inkling toward loving a book, I have to get it. And that's stupid and will make me poor someday, but whatever. So we've got that one. And then also, long story, so much talking, so much rambling, I apologize for this. I'm also going to Montenegro for a vacation with a couple other booktubers, Karen, a roving reader, and Marcella on her books. They have volunteered to go with me to Montenegro so that I don't have to go alone. I'm so excited. But I was looking for books that are Montenegro related, and it's quite hard, I find, to specifically get that. We got a lot of like other like previously Yugoslavian type things, you know, like there's a lot of Croatian stuff, there's a lot of like you know, Serbian and Bosnian blah blah sort of stuff. Not a lot of Montenegro specific authors are like huge in the UK or like in the US or whatever, like it's hard to sort of find it. But there was one author on my mind. It was like he wrote like Till Kingdom Come or something like this, and it was Andre Nikolaidis, I think that's how you say it, I don't know, but I saw his name and I tried to find the book and I couldn't get that book. You can't get it in the UK, I don't know what's up with that, but I registered the name and I put the name down and I was like, maybe when I'm in Montenegro, if I see something by that guy or whatever, I'll get it. So then just me looking innocently at the books at Hay Festival while James is taking pictures of books he wants. Like he also bought books there, like they're taking pictures thing, it didn't work anyway. So me just like looking at stuff. Guess what? The shit. So Montenegrin, this is translated from the Montenegrin, and it says on it translated from the Montenegrin. It doesn't say Serbo-Croat or Serbian or whatever, it says literally from the Montenegrin. And I felt like I need to get it. I don't even know what it's about. I just got it. Like, don't, like, I have a problem. Just don't. Okay, so, that's, like, haul part 2, right? It was, like, what, 7 books? That's the second part. Next with, like, the, first part, which is, like, let's see, like, what, also 7? Like, 6? So, that's a lot of books. But I choose not to regret it, because what's the point in that? What's the point? Had an amazing time, okay? I love Hay Festival. Fucking love it. Every year we go. Emma had an amazing time. She loves camping. She loves seeing people. She loves doing stuff. She always eats loads of tasty foods there. James loved it as well. Like, we saw Bettany Hughes and Alice Roberts. I think, honestly, he's got a bit of a thing for those two. Like, he's into them. He loves them. And he loved hearing them talk. I came home with amazing books. Emma came home with amazing books. James came home with amazing books. We had an amazing time. Like, there's no point in regretting, okay? It's happened. It was a lovely time. The fact that I've now got a shit ton of books that I can afford and won't fit in my house. Like, this, it sounds like a later problem. This is not a now problem, honestly, right now. So, this is fine. Yeah, so, that's a wrap. That's the end. We're back now. We're back in Cardiff. And we have to continue with our normal lives now. Until next year. Because there's no more hay until next year. So depressing. But we'll go next year, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, should we say bye?
1, 2, 3.
Okay, wait, on 3 or after 3? Like 1, 2, 3 and then bye? Or like 1, 2 and then bye on 3? Like after 3?
On and after.
Wait,
One,
like 1, 2,
two,
bye, bye. Like no, wait. Okay, so wait, we'll do it on 3. So like 1, 2, and then bye. Okay.
1,
1, 2,
2,
bye.
You already said bye.
Oh my god.